the Meet the Seavers Show. Come on and meet the Seavers. Join us for just a while. Come on and meet the Seavers. Hey, we're gonna make you smile. So relax, enjoy the show. You'll make a couple friends.
Like us,
You wanna meet the Seavers again and again. Spin you. Are you ready?
He's gonna spin me. You're jealous.
Ready?
Yes.
And jump. Ready, stop. Up. Yep. Right hand red.
You're so bad. But it's not as bad as this suit you have on.
I like my
Kaboom! Bam! Pow! Yeah, that's what I'm talking
That's how
about.
it says everything
Yeah.
all at once.
Just like our guests. And we have on the show Miss Seline Bolton.
Yep. She's going to be showing us how to make soap and all kinds of other wild stuff she
cool
does.
things.
Yeah.
And we also have Mr. John Heinrich.
John Heinrich.
Yeah.
Steel guitar extraordinaire.
He is a multi-instrumentalist.
You said
Now that's
right.
a tongue twister.
Oh.
You get it?
Let's do
Twist,
it.
twist, twist.
Let's go get ready for the show. You ready?
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, ready? Super. Twister walk. Have you been injured in a helicopter accident involving Lithuanian children on their way to a basketball game? Have you been wrongfully accused of having committed suicide? Have you been arrested for jaywalking too slowly? If you've answered yes to any and all of these questions, we at Blister and Blister want you to know that we're here to help. We at Blister and Blister know that you have better things to do with your time than wait for your settlement. That's why we promise to have your settlement for you in 15 minutes or less. Listen to some of these testimonials from our happy customers, and you decide if Blister and Blister can be of service to you.
I got injured in a go-kart accident. Blister and Blister got me this spatula.
The mailman bit my dog. Blister and Blister got me this can of peanut butter.
I bought a hamburger from a place down the street, and now my teeth kind of itch a little bit. But Blister and Blister, he got me 35 cents and a glass of water.
Cannibals ate my baby, but Blister and Blister got me a new one. My baby! My baby! My baby! My baby!
So call Blister and Blister and get the settlement you want in the time you need.
Thanks, Blister and Blister.
Thanks, Blister and Blister.
Thanks, Blister and Blister.
Blister and Blister is a subsidiary of Sluggos Incorporated. We're in the studio with John Heinrich.
Yes.
Hello out there.
Not to be confused with that, what do you call that?
Heinrich.
I thought about this when he said John. But no, none of that,
No,
right?
not Heinrich, Heinrich.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
John, you wear a ton of hats.
Yep.
What do you consider yourself first? A musician, an arranger, a performer?
Wow. I would consider myself a musician first, actually, because that's what I usually get hired as. That's the first thing I get hired as, is a musician. And then that morphs into something else. Sometimes it depends on whether the people that you're working with or the people that hire you allow you for your input. I mean, and some people will allow you a lot, some people will just give you free reign, and then you can start to, let's change this and change that, and if it's okay with them, then you can change it. That's part of the arranging or composing. But it just depends on the situation, but the first thing is definitely musician.
So what's it like being a session player here in Nashville? Is there a lot of work here, or is it?
It depends.
Okay.
There it goes. You're going almost back to the question of
Okay.
networking. If you don't network,
that's
you can sit at
true.
home all day long.
Yes.
And why is my phone not ringing? And there's a lot of players like that. And they're
Tons
wanting
of
the
them.
mountain to come to them.
Not gonna
It
happen.
doesn't work that way. I like to talk to people. I like what we're doing now. I mean, this is the whole thing. This is networking.
Yeah.
This is exactly what you got to
That's
do to
right.
get out there.
So you are playing for Ronnie Millsap now, is that correct?
Correct.
How'd that come about?
Well, I'm a networker, and
you gotta be.
I'd write the book on networking, but I'm too busy networking, so I didn't even bother with that. But in the scene, Nashville scene, I hit all the studios that I could see in there. I've got what I have is a little blurb that I say what I do, who I've played with, real short, so they're not going to just delete me out, So I hit this guy by the name of Adam Hampton. Adam, if you're watching, that's about you, buddy.
Hey, Adam.
He's a keyboard player for Sarah Evans right now.
Yeah.
But he was working with Ronnie Millsap at that time, which I didn't know, but he answered my email that I sent to him because he was looking for clients for his studio. And one thing turned into another, and he finally got back with me and said, I've got a session coming up, I can use you.
How's the industry different today than when you first started?
Well, when I first started, that was back in the late 60s. So, I mean, you can imagine the changes that have gone in since then. I mean, it still follows a pattern in that you've got the artists, and then you've got the promotion, and then you've got the audience, and that stays the same. But the way that they're doing it and the way that they're selling it is different, and yeah, I never would have guessed that it would have been the way that it was today. But then a lot of the social media and stuff like that adds into that too. You know? And people can look at that negatively, or they can look at it positively, and I look at it positively.
Yeah. So what do you see? Do you see a trend that's happening, or what do you see? What will be the next big trend in music?
I think it's going to go back. Probably it's going to flip back a ways to the way that it was, and the way that they're going to look for definitely positive talent. I think the problem with what's going on right now is that you can buy your way in, and if you have the money, you can pay the promotion people to say you're the best thing that has ever happened. Now, George Martin did that with the Beatles. He invested in the Beatles and bought a lot of the first product that came out, and then I guess I'm just talking off the top of my head because that's what
did that even back then.
Yeah,
wow.
But see, that worked, and the Beatles they had what it took, but there was some people that don't have it, and they still got in today because they don't, because of the money.
Yeah. So I know you want to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, John.
But aside from that, what's next for John Heinrich?
Well, I want to finish off the 3 projects that I'm working on right now, and I'm really close to it. I've got a pop project that I'm closest to, and then I've got a saxophone project that I'm after that, and then I've got a steel guitar project that will probably linger a little bit longer because I don't have all the material for that. But when I write for one project, I try to also think, can I use that in my steel guitar project? Can I use it in my pop project? So I try to interchange, or be able to interchange material like that, so I don't have to recut three different albums, totally different.
Gosh, you're thinking all the time, aren't you, John?
I'm working on it. You gotta be behind you might be up behind the 8 ball, but you can still see out the side.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, where can fans find your music?
Well, if you
find you?
Find me. Well, if they put my name and they spell the last name right, they'll find me all over the web. I mean, I am all over the web.
Let's help them with that last name. How is it spelled again?
HEINRICH. But you pronounce it Heinrich, and so it comes off like a K.
Okay.
But they can find me on the web. My website is www.johnheinrich.net. And other than that, of course, I've got Reverb Nation, I've got Facebook, I've got LinkedIn. Those are the big 3 right there. And then Flickr I was working on today. I mean, Instagram. I try to get on and make it visible and make it easy for people to find me.
Give me a little bit of insight as to the song that you're going to be performing for us.
Well, this was one of those songs that just comes to you. You're just sitting there and you're inspired. You get the general idea, and of course for me the music always came first. And then I wrote out the lyrics to it. And sometimes I have problems working, finding things that make sense with this and make sense with that. So I use what I call not eutherical, but just more situations almost, rather than throwback from the 60s maybe. It was that kind of a thing, and I'm sure a lot of people it'll suggest different things to different people. But I was really happy with the music, and I was happy with my vocal on that. And I'm not going to say that I'm a vocalist per se, but I think if you do projects, you at least need to do one song where people can say, that's the voice that goes with this, whoever this guy is.
Sure.
I like that. As long as it's not bad. I mean, you gotta put something on there that you're proud of. And
It's true.
I like what I did.
People want to hear your voice. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, John, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Well, thank you.
Yes, it
Thank
has been.
Yeah.
Let's listen to some music.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Let me turn it on. Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Into the storm of time, I know you've seen those very places. See them run into the sky that draws the line on many faces. Touch the ring of purple light, it cuts into our limitations. Be the roses of the crown, they crash above the highest traces. Held it in my hand of morning clouds and lavish amber, and it spoke to me while streaming through a one-way door of mine. In the light of dreams they scream across the room of chartreuse laces. Then the light went through my soul. I felt its birth and I knew the sign. Leap into the storm of time. I know you've seen those very places. See them run into the sky. It was so long ago. Touch the ring of purple light. It cuts into our limitations. Be the roses of the crown, they crash above the highest traces. Chartreuse laces. Then the light went through my soul. I felt its birth and I knew the sign. Keep a smile inside of you. I know you'll come to see three faces. See them run into the sky. It was so long ago. Touch the ring of purple light. It cuts into our limitations. Be the roses of the crown. They crash above the highest traces. Leap into the storm of time. I know you'll come to see three faces.
Hello everyone, we are super excited to have our next guest with us. Her name is Seline Bolton and she's with Saline Art. She's going to tell us about all of the cool artsy organic products that she makes. And Seline, who inspired you to create Saline Art?
Well, Dorothy, thank you for asking. I actually rarely talk about my true inspiration of Saline Art. It comes from my grandfather. He was an outstanding medical professional in the area. When I was 4, I lived with my grandparents very closely for a year, while my parents were out of town studying for their graduate degrees. I was a very sick child at the time.
Really?
I had trouble breathing and my skin had non-stop rashes.
Well, you look gorgeous.
Now. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So, for me to get stronger, my grandfather used to bathe me with our traditional herbs.
Okay.
And he also brewed me different teas to relieve my symptoms.
Okay.
I remember how those herbal blends smelled. He also loved nature. I remember he always had flowers, fruits in the garden blooming. The mixture of the scents were just so gorgeous, so fresh, so lovely.
I'm there now. I can see this vision, yes.
Yeah, little yard, china.
Yes.
But he passed away 2 years ago.
Sorry.
I grieve very deeply, and at the same time I was looking for a way to preserve his loving, optimistic, generous spirit. So I got in touch with nature and I started making my handmade soaps with Chinese traditional herbs, all from scratch. It's exactly the way that how it was from my memory of my grandpa.
Okay. And so tell me, what types of products do you make?
Saline Art actually is the only store on Etsy.com that offers a full range of traditional Chinese artisan soaps, shavings, skincares,
everything,
hair cares, and cosmetics.
Okay.
So that being said, I make handmade soaps, shaving bars, face and body moisturizers, lip balms, shampoos, conditioners, lipsticks, and face powder. Wow. All from scratch.
So what makes your product different from the ones that you would buy in the store?
All of my products are uniquely handmade with Chinese traditional herbs and only a few natural or organic fresh ingredients. So unlike any other commercial products, mine contain no sulfates, no detergents.
No detergents, that's good.
No harsh chemicals.
Okay.
No synthetic softeners.
Okay.
And no artificial dyes.
I'm being drawn to this particular color here. It's gorgeous. So how do you not eat your product? Oh my goodness.
Yes, what does it smell like?
A little lavender maybe? No?
It's fruity.
Yeah, it is fruity.
Blueberry.
Blueberries, okay.
Yes, this one actually has fruit essence and lots of antioxidants.
Okay.
So, by not eating your soap, you will know when you use it, your skin feels so soft, it feels so bubbly, and you know this is better stay on the skin instead of stay in your stomach.
I think I'm going to take this with me when you leave. I want this particular piece here.
Take it.
Okay. I'm interested in making soap. Do you have soap making classes?
Definitely. I am actually teaching soap making classes at Dabble Studio in Brentwood, Tennessee. We have monthly classes and it lasts 2 hours.
Okay.
So I teach everybody from the first step how to make natural soaps.
Saline, it's been a pleasure having you on the show and telling us about Saline Art. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Oh.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Here, honey, he got some chopsticks.
You order appetizer now? You order. You don't come back. You don't come back. I call someone. Now. You make a big mess. You make a bigger mess. Captain Metaphor? You come now. He make a bigger mess. It's like.
I'll be right there.
He's like a bull in a china shop. Restaurant.
Thank you, Captain Metaphor. Thank you, Captain Metaphor. Thank you.
Just doing my job. Like a superhero.
You go. What you eat, Captain Metaphor? What you eat?
What indeed? I know. I think I'll have the moo shoe. I crack myself up sometimes.
You good looking too.
Dorothy,
Yes, honey.
this is a song about unrequited love.
Ooh, sounds good to me.
We don't have that type of love.
Of course not.
Yeah. So this is called When Rome Was Set to Ruin. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Try to warm you with conversation. I have always an Austin's way, but you resist my conflagrations, so I smolder in what I say. Were you always so unpersuaded, blowing out every single match? My intentions grow unabated, though my hopes may yet turn to ash. None of the fires I've set seem to catch. They say when Rome was set to ruin, only Nero was unconcerned. I confess I find it inhuman that you don't care how bad I burn. Prometheus was just a fable who was trying to share his art. Even he would still be unable to thaw the center of your heart. But all I am asking from you is a spark. It's just a spark. Anthony had his Cleopatra, Juliet had her child of flame, happily had its ever after for Vesuvius and Pompeii. Even Oedipus had his mother, though he was certainly confused. As for me, I think that no other will hold a candle next to you. But despite my efforts, you still unconsumed. You're still unconsumed. Am I twisting it?
Hard, baby.
I'm twisting it real good.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Wait.
sort of. No?
That's the end of our show,
Oh,
I believe.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh, already?
We were really getting into the twister thing, weren't we?
Yeah, I was
Ah.
not getting it down.
Okay. That is the end of our show. I'm sorry, we gotta go.
Time to say goodnight to everybody, Dorothy.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Let's get back to it.
How about if I spin you one last time?
Okay, come on.
I'm gonna spin you.
Oh,
Okay, you spin, I'm gonna twist.
So now you've met the Seavers. Hope you've enjoyed the show. So now you've met the Seavers. It's time for us to go. Visit us out on the web at meettheseavers.com.
One word.
From us and Meet the Seavers. So long.
The Meet the Seavers Show is a Captain Metaphor production.